So Jamal Niaz here for Monopoly Events at For the Love of Wrestling with Mandy Sacs and so many old friends here, including your coach from Tough Enough, Lita. Yes. That must bring back a lot of memories.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of like full circle. Seeing Lita, Trish Stratus, Enzo, I haven't seen in a while. There's a lot of people, little reunion. It's been good.
In terms of those memories that you talk about from Tough Enough, if you could go back to Mandy at that time, pre-WWE, you're scratching and clawing trying to reach the WWE. What advice would you give Mandy back then?
Ooh, I would say I tried to do this like during my time, but I would say I would even try harder knowing what I know now, is just taking everything with a grain of salt and really enjoying the moment in that present time and not focusing so much on the future and when am I going to get that title? When am I going to get that opportunity? I think we all struggle with that. So I would say really focusing on the moment because, you never know when that call comes. For instance, when mine did or whatever it may be, it's like you never know when that day is going to end. And I just feel like life is so short. So just really taking in every moment and being in that present moment.
Now, I know you've mentioned before that winning the NXT title, like you didn't feel like you needed that validation because you already felt validated. But the fact that it was such a dominant reign, that definitely helped cement your legacy at that time, for it not just to be 2-3 months. It was a really, really long time. How grateful are you that you got to have that sort of booking and elevate yourself to the level that you're at now, where you don't even really need professional wrestling, do you?
Yeah, I'm super grateful and humbled at the same time of my 413-day reign of being the NXT Women's Champion. And, I did mention that I don't think a title makes someone. However, I do think it can elevate them and it kind of validates them in a way of just giving, that respect, gaining that respect. And, those 413 days, it was a long time. So like you said, I, beat many women and women that people probably wouldn't even think I would ever even face, like Mako and Blair Davenport and all these amazing athletes that I accomplished in the ring and was able to work with, had the opportunity to work with. So it's definitely an honor. And I think it did that year and a half really catapult me into something where, like you just said, I don't really need it. I have a huge brand. I'm so grateful for all my fans. I'm so grateful for the WWE and the WWE universe for giving me that platform to showcase all of my amazing abilities. But I think I just needed the right opportunity at the right time.
We have quite a lot of NXT alumni here today. Enzo, who you just mentioned, who was in here before you, Matt Riddle, even Dolph Ziggler, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. It's Nick now today. We can't call him Dolph anymore. But yeah, so you all benefited from the wisdom and I'm guessing the guidance from Triple H during that time. What were some of the biggest things that you learned from being around him?
My experience when I went back to NXT was a lot more with Shawn Michaels. I worked with Triple H a little bit, but it was in that time frame of when he then went to Raw and SmackDown and worked a lot behind those scenes. So I worked a lot with Shawn Michaels, which I had amazing things to say. I've always had great experiences with him. He was very approachable and easy to talk to. I worked with Triple H a little bit prior to my first NXT first NXT developmental stage. And I would say everything was great. And I just think, when I first got to NXT, I think it was always like told and ingrained in me, like, they were saving me for Vince because Vince is once he sees you, he's going to love you. And they didn't really put me out there as much, where like going back, I think they should have put me out there a little bit because you kind of have to get those reps and that, the experience in. And but it is what it is. I'm so grateful and I wouldn't take anything back the way it panned out. So I think NXT is so important, but I will say that second time I went to NXT was even more important for me because I humbled myself. I didn't take that call and think the worst. I didn't get pessimistic. I didn't get inside my own head. I ran with it and I said, you know what? I'm really excited for this. I'm going to take this as an opportunity to get, get my training in, get more training in, help other individuals, humble myself, all these things. And I think it definitely paid off.
And I believe it was prior to that second NXT run that you sort of were given the idea that you could be in a title match at WrestleMania with Asuka, and that didn't materialize. So when stuff like that happens where you're getting your hopes up and you're thinking you're going to get this huge WrestleMania moment, how do you pick yourself up? Because it's either you pick yourself up or it's going to be a bit of a downfall for you. You can't have, in any aspect of life, if something doesn't go the way that you thought it was going to go, then unfortunately, it's only going to be you that's in charge of whether you go up or let it be a bit of a downfall for you.
Yeah, you can't let those moments ruin your time being wherever it is, right? And I will say during those moments, my whole career, I never really believed anything until it was like right smack in front of my face. Did I take it and get really excited about things? Did I get my hopes up? Of course. But I was very much like level queued a lot of my career because of my mindset. And I'm just like, I need to be very well balanced in life, in everything. And I just felt like I was so level queued in the aspect of like, I know I deserve this opportunity. If this presents itself and I hear my music hit and it's happening, I'm excited and I'm there and I'm going to give everything I got. But until that actually happens, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant because of the situation and what I've seen and what happens in the wrestling world.
Who were the wrestlers that you stepped in there with that you felt, these are leveling me up as an athlete and as a professional wrestler?
I would say my match unifying the NXT and UK championship with Mako and Blair Davenport. I really would take that match, and people probably would never think that Mandy Rose would be in a match with those two women. I mean, they're amazing. I think someone actually just tweeted me something the other day, like, it's crazy that Mandy was the only like main roster woman to face Mako, which I think is really crazy and cool accomplishment because she's badass. So I would say those two really lifted me up, as well as we had a great match. And I think unifying those titles really, really gained that respect.
Final one, obviously, no doubt people will have been saying it to you today that people want to see you back in the world of wrestling. They want to see you back in WWE or even AEW because their roster is crazy stacked as well. Are you missing it? Do you want to come back at some point in the future?
So days like today, I will say there was a part of me when I was sitting in the ring doing the Q&A and all the fans were there. I do miss it, I will say. I said in an interview not too long ago that I didn't really have the itch. I don't know if I have the itch to go back and wrestle full time right now. However, I do miss the fans. I miss the camaraderie. I miss that adrenaline rush. I'm doing a lot of amazing things and I'm so grateful for where I'm at in my life. But do I have that adrenaline rush? Not really. I think that might be missing. I would do it for the fans. I would do it for the aspect of there was some unfinished business, and we really catapulted. And Toxic Attraction was so amazing. And as much as some things didn't pan out the way I wanted, I do feel bad a little bit and a little guilty in the sense of like we had something going so amazing, and I kind of feel for the girls in the group because they don't hold it against me or anything, but it's just one of those things where maybe there is something in the future. So I'll never say never. I don't think the door is fully shut. The boots aren't totally hung up. So you'll just have to wait and see.
Amazing. I think a lot of people are going to be happy to hear that we can't give up hope yet. So enjoy the rest of the weekend. I know that you're only here for today, so enjoy the rest of this evening. And I hope you had a great time in Manchester. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.